Hello, this is the Dark Side of Tea. You can find me as the Dark Side of Tea on other social platforms. However, I am mostly just active on here, YouTube sphere, pop up every now and then. On the Dark Side of Tea, I share commentary from my point of view of Black women, particularly here in the Americas. My content is specifically about my own journey and in relation to events that take place as we continue to traverse through this life and this world and finding our place in society, or not just finding our place, but realizing and knowing our place. Um, there's this very interesting conversation I had with a girlfriend of mine some time ago, and I think it kind of rings in today. As you guys see from the title, this is called "The Dawn of the New Black Woman," or the era of the Black woman, right? A new dawn, a new era. And where I'm getting with that is, as I mentioned, guys, we have less than 30 days, less than 30 days before we go into the new year. And what this new year is a representation of a new era. It's going to be pretty much it's the 20s. We're going into the 20s. And what I am seeing and would like to continue to see and grow with Black women is that we are realizing and being than just doing. So let me get into the conversation, right? So, everybody wants, particularly women, want to be that it girl. And that it girl is whatever it is for you. It could mean popularity, it can mean, the beauty, whatever the it factor is, you want to be your own exclusive it factor. Now, check this, right? When we were growing up, there was a game we used to play, right? Tag your it. And during the game, if you were it, you would chase the other members of the game. And I just started thinking about that psychologically, right? Follow me, guys. Just walk with me on this one. Psychologically, we all want to be that it factor for whatever the it is for us. But what we have been conditioned or conditioned through the game that we've played, that we tend to chase other people, although we're it. So, what I'm getting with that in this conversation is that when you are the it factor for whatever that it is for you, you don't have to chase anything or anyone for it because you are it. So it goes against saying like, oh, just do it. It's deeper than just doing. It's more so of a being. And this is what I'm ready to see, the shift from 2020, this new decade that Black women are entering, that everybody's entering, but when we're entering it with the new mindset is that you are the it factor, you are the it girl. And I'm a big component on knowing thyself. I shared with you guys my viewpoints on it's not just enough to know yourself versus when I mean know yourself, it's not enough to say, well, I know I like this, I know I don't like that, I know I am this, I know I'm not that. It's deeper than that. When I say know yourself, I'm talking about knowing your own triggers, talk about knowing what triggers you, why it triggers you, how to maneuver through your triggers. I'm also talking about knowing yourself biologically, as far as being in tune with your body, being in tune with yourself on how you feel, how even down to like certain foods you eat, right? Like, how does that make you feel? And that's the thing. Hey, Princess Leah, I love that name. It's not that Black women are the new it girls. Black women have always been the it girl. Everybody is trying and mimic the Black woman, So we are the it girl. But you know what we're doing? We're playing tag. We're chasing other girls or other people to make them it when you yourself are it. You get it? So yeah, and like Black women divesting, and this is another thing. I think what has slowed us down to Black women, and I know I talk in a collective sense because we are a part of a collective, but you're still an individual within your collective. I'm a strong component for women, Black women, focusing on their self individually and not leveling up your life or divesting for the collective of Black women. No, you level up your life and divest for yourself, not for doing it for another man or doing it for your family, all these things, which is not bad things to do it for. But if you're doing it for other people, the value and the appreciation is not going to be reciprocated from the people you're doing it for. If you're doing it for yourself, you will continue to value yourself and value and appreciate the process and the journey that you went through, because you are the it girl. Don't do the it girl, be the it girl. Just be her. You are her. Be it. And so that's why I think this is kind of piggybacking from the conversation that was going on in my comments on my last video about April Mason. And I'm guessing this is a gentleman, and I want to make sure I get the quote right. I mean, his comment right. His name is Lee Stowe, and I'm assuming you're a gentleman. He was coming from the perspective, or his talking points are coming from the perspective that he believes that April Mason hates Black women, and the talking point centers around her being violated by a father and stepfather, and feeling that because she was violated by the men close to her, and her mother should have been the one to help protect her, that maybe there is some insecurity or unresolved issues dealing with her mother, and therefore she hates Black women. I don't know. But I mean, I think that's a plausible conclusion to come up with. I don't think that is the conclusion. I don't think Miss April Mason hates Black women. I do know and I do understand there are Black women who don't like other Black women. I don't think that's her motivation. I think her motivation comes from a place of really just being, and that's true. So many Black women will throw other Black women under the bus for Black male validation. And I think that's what she's done. I don't think it comes from a place of hate. I think it really comes from a place of delusionment. Like people want to so badly believe in something to be true and to be real that is not, that they are willing to not look at what's in front of them, the reality of what something is, because they want to live in the delusionment. We want to live in the delusionment that there is a, I like how Kendall says it, how does she say it? A good patriarchy, if you want to call it that, a benevolent patriarchy. We want to believe in that. And I know we want to believe in that concept. And there's just many things that we want to believe, but it's just not what it is. I want to see if there's any other comments. I meant the ambiguous Black woman will be the new it girl. The media is beginning to show Black women in a more soft, feminine light. I meant the unambiguous Black woman. Oh, I follow. Okay, I follow what you're saying. Yeah, no. I agree. And you know what that is? That's a reflection of the times. I think I spoke about that yesterday. What we have in the media is a reflection of our times. And honestly, this is the time for the Black woman. This is her time to reawaken, the rise, the reawakening, the rise of the Black divine feminine, right? Black women have always been the it woman. She's always been the it girl. There's just a lot of factors that played into the psychosis or the sleep of us to make us not believe that we were it, right? But I want to kind of piggyback on what I was talking about as far as this new dawn, this new era. So 2020 is it. This is it. Like, I'm not bringing 2010 and 2019. That mindset is not coming with me to 2020. And I think a lot of people are feeling it. Like, if we really look back at that era, this era that we just left, that we're leaving, yeah, they've been pushing non-Black and biracial for so long. They're about to switch it up because at the end of the day, there's more melanated people in the world than there will ever be non-melanated people or biracial people. Everything's going to go back to what it was. That's just what it is. Everything's going to go back to what it is. And it's so important to travel and open and widen our worldview to realize that I think a lot of times in America, United States, you can kind of be caught in a bubble and think that this is all the only thing that's happening. Like it's a grand scale of things that are happening on this earth that we live on, right? And the only way for things to switch up is for the people to switch up. Particularly, I'm a strong component and believer that the Black community, that whatever we want to call to be the Black community, will not be better until Black women better themselves. Because no matter where you're at, women are the nucleus of any family structure, of any cultural structure. It's the women. Like, if you really think about it, let's just use like a household family, right? Mom, dad, child. If it wasn't for the mom, the dad wouldn't be into the mom, right? And if the dad didn't get with the mama to produce the children, there would be no connection between the children and the father if there wasn't the nucleus, the mom. So I'm saying all that women are the nucleus of any structure, of any culture or anything. It's the women. It's the women that keeps the culture going. It's the women that create the culture. It's the women that create the structures. Like, I can use an example right now with my family. The traditions that we do, like for the holidays or any kind of traditional thing, that stuff is done because I am pushing that on my family to do. I am the one that puts it together. I'm the one that does it, and we do it. The children, husband, all of us, right? And I look back, my mom was the same way. Her mom was the same way. Whatever traditions that are passed down is passed down through the women. It's the women who create the traditions. It's the women who create the culture. Think about Black culture in general. Black women are the culture of Blackness. Even you look at down to other communities, how they kind of mimic or take, they take or borrow, steal, whatever terms you want to use, that Black-esque-ness that Black women offer, that energy, that vibe, that whole style of how we do and say things, that's being borrowed by other cultures. Because it's, again, where does it come from? It comes from the women, particularly Black women I'm talking about here. So when I'm going into this conversation about our new era, it's important for you to recognize what are you leaving behind. And I thought about this. Now, Mariah Carey is a biracial woman, but take that aside, I want you guys to think about what kind of legacy she's leaving behind. As long as, for every decade that I have been alive, this woman has had a hit song, multiple hits. But for every decade, I could talk for every decade I've been alive, she has had a hit song. And when I look at her outside of not being a fan, just looking at her objectively, she has left a track record of hits and a legacy of someone who continues to keep pushing the envelope in her career, as far as still being consistent, right? And so my thing is adopting that same kind of concept in Black women. What is going to be the 2020 and beyond decade of Black women? Because we have had our the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, 2010s, that whole thing. Now that we're going to 2020, what is going to be the shift, and what's going to be our focus, and what are we pursuing and pushing for? I like the fact that we are now being presented more in the media as soft and feminine. I don't want you guys to think that's the end all be all, because you can't get comfortable. You have to understand, when you're being who you are, you have to always be you, and continue to keep pushing that mark, and keep pushing and striving, and not allowing someone else to direct or narrate who you are, right? But anything you guys want to say? I'm loving the comments here. I think I like going live. I might go live around this time a lot. I feel like this is too early. I could always go later for you guys, because I got time. But what are some of your thoughts, guys, for like your plans on what is your focus for yourself when it comes to 2020 and beyond? Like, for me, like I already mentioned, it's definitely a shift for myself. I know I mentioned this before. Hey, nurse student possibilities. Hi, welcome back. Um, you know, I want to address something. This was actually, it was asked to me some months back, and I responded in the comment section. But I want to talk about this here. One of the things that I know for myself that never, well, I can't say never, it did, but as I've become more self-aware and learning more about myself, my culture, my family roots, um, even down to the properties of melanin, down to my spiritual cosmology, aligning all of these factors into itself to really take time and spend time to know who I am. I am never ever offended or now I should say now I'm not offended for somebody praising themselves, right? For someone creating platforms or avenues that uplifts their image. And I think that's important. There's been a out of balance for years, when not just for women but for Black women, as far as the this dissension that's been amongst Black women, and that whole concept of our complexions and our hair textures, and we've been divided on so many different factions of ourselves. That has it got to a point where it's a boiling point, and I think that's what 2010 to 2019 was. It was like that was the era of offense. Like anything and anybody could get this offense, right? Like everybody was getting served with some type of offense. And I'm like, we got to be at a point where I'm saying, like, there's once you got offended so much, especially been in an era of offense, what more offense can be taken, right? It's like I think we got to a low, and I mean, I'm talking as a collectively, like there's like a low that you just can't get no more lower. Like you got to get to a point of being on the level of dust. You can't get no more dustier than that. So it's like now we're on the up and up, right? It's like once you hit rock bottom, you can't go nowhere else but up. And I think that's what I feel. And I love that there are platforms for women to come together and share their experiences, heal their traumas. I commend any person on their journey to self healing and on their journey to self awareness. It may not have to look like my journey. It don't even have to be exactly the route that I may have take. But if it's getting you to a place of wholeness within yourself, that is all that matters. And that's why I strongly believe that the Black woman level up is an individual level. It's an individual experience. Yes, we're collectively Black women. And a lot of us, there's a lot of women that are thrown into that, whether they're racially ambiguous, whether they're biracial or not, they get thrown into that collective. But this is my true viewpoint on things, that your level up is individual, and whatever route it takes you to get there, you get there. And that's why I think I have compassion and empathy. And honestly, I don't really know how far April Mason is going to really go. Whether it's genuine or coming from a place that she got burned and now she just wants to switch places, it doesn't really matter. I don't really, that point to me does not matter, because at the end of the day, it's her personal journey. Everybody gets it when they get it, no matter how they may got to it. And so that's for anybody. And that's even in my own life. Like I think sometimes we forget that we had our own aha moments within our own journey on other things or the same things. And sometimes it's like, it's easy to go like, oh man, this person just now getting it, sips tea or whatever little sly things we can say. And, it's all cool and cute, whatever. But what's more important than being cool and cute is the level of compassion and empathy that you have for yourself and what you can lend and render to other people, particularly other Black women. I don't think that we allow ourselves to be comfortable with ourselves and allow other people to be comfortable with their own level of growth, whether it's your level of growth or not, whether it's your viewpoint or not. And so that's where I come from when I say I support all women on their journey, no matter where it gets to. And she said, I understand self-awareness and individual experiences for sure. And awareness occurs individual. Yeah. There is an awareness curve. There is an awareness curve. Sometimes you get to that learn. It's called a knowledge tax. And sometimes you got to pay to figure that thing out. And paying doesn't always mean you're going to pay financially, but you're going to pay with your time. You're going to pay with some type of experience. Yo, that knowledge tax is real. And I think it's important. This is why I think it's important that we're doing this, because this is all these things that are happening right now with all the different channels, whether it's KSC, whether it's Crystal and Karazin, it's Chrissy, it's Chloe _ whoever, She-Ra 7, all these different women who are coming with their perspectives and viewpoints, whether we agree with everybody's perspective or people, that's not the point. That's not what matters. What matters is that everybody is giving their piece of their understanding from their experience, and that is going to help somebody. So whether you want to learn how to quote unquote be a gold digger, then go to She-Ra 7. And that's not even what she's really teaching. But if that's what you want to get from it, then whatever that you need to get from life, you need to get for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Supporting you. Catch you next time. Okay. Binary student possibilities. And so that's what I'm getting at. Wherever you need to get it from, you get it how you get it. I don't care. I just want to see Black women individually as I see them. I just want to see Black women happy. I don't care how you need to be happy, honey. You need to be happy. I'm ready to see Black women to be happy. I'm ready to see Black women thrive. I'm ready to see us do. And I won't even say shout out to Julesy, because I know I had some harsh criticisms for Julesy, but in the day, I just want to see Black women thrive, because everybody is bringing a perspective that is important to the level up of our lives. You need to be involved in your politics. You need to be aware of who your senators are, who your mayor, your councilwomen, your councilmen. These things are important. And I feel like sometimes those conversations within our communities is not talking as much, being part of your city hall, your town hall meetings, because again, Black women, your life will only change based on the level of involvement that you have in it. And that takes it however you want to have that one. But I'm just rambling on now. But if there's anything particular you guys want to say, if not, I'm gonna be tuning out pretty soon. Well, alrighty then. Well, I will be back again this week. I think typically around this time is when I'm gonna do lives. I kind of like doing lives. I like recording videos too, but I'm not real big on editing stuff, and sometimes I don't feel like editing, and I don't feel like doing it. I just want to come, speak my piece, and then buzz out. But okay, guys, I'm gonna head out. I just want to leave you guys with this note: your level up is for you. Do it for yourself. Do it for the future generation that's going to come after you. But more importantly, just do it for yourself, really. That's all that really matters. Because when you really do right by yourself, everybody else gets right too. That's how I believe it. But all right, guys, I'll talk to you ladies later. This is the Dark Side of T. You can find me as the Dark Side of T on all social platforms. Talk with you again soon. Bye.